Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're back on the update 1.91 dev server and it's time to have a look at the Object 685. This is a new rank 7 battle rating 9.7 machine which is coming to the Soviet tree in update 1.91. A battle rating 9.7, this machine does seem extremely high, especially when we compare it to the competition at 9.7, such as the T64B and even the T72. The Object 685 is when you marry the rounds from the T55A, such as the 3BM25 and also the Heat FS that you can find in 3BK17M, and as I said, the 3BM25, when you combine them with the 906 and add a little bit of armor. So what you're getting from this machine is a vehicle which is amphibious, a vehicle which is upgunned in the form of the 100mm, which has a two-plane stabilizer attached to it, and also an autoloader, so you don't have to worry about your cruise skills when you're actually trying to get the reload up on this thing. And also other things, such as the fact that it does get night vision capabilities. It also has this extra ammo here, just to make sure that you pop. And also, when it comes to the engine at the back, it's only got 400 horsepower worth of power, but it is only a 14.8 ton machine. So this is just a higher tier 906 with a slightly worse reload and a slightly worse depression, I believe, as well. Yeah, slightly worse, but it's negligible. The reason why the 906 is so good in game is because of its 4.3 second reload and its ability to be able to get into positions quickly, deal with targets very efficiently, and be able to get out. Now, this only works if you're not facing top tier MBTs, and instead you're facing machines at a much lower level, which a lot of the time either don't have stabilizers or mean that you can get the first shot off because of your superior positioning. The 685 does not have that going for it, because of the fact that it's at 9.7, which is insane for it, at least on this dev server. And unless there is something that I'm missing, I feel like it's incredibly over-tiered for what it brings to the table. On top of this, it does have some smoke grenades. It has 8 of them. They sit in sets of 2 on either side of the turret. And also, what it has is some ammunition in the back as well, just to make sure that you pop. It has a first stage ammo load, or basically a carousel loader. That is how the designs at least look that I had a look at, with 12 pieces. So if you're getting any more of that, you're going to be chucking them all over the tank, making yourself a vehicle which is going to get hit hard by whatever shoots you. Now, generally, you're going to get one shot in this thing anyway, but sometimes you want to set up a scenario where the shot will just go straight through you, which is something that the 906 used to be great at. The 906, the shots which a lot of people would shoot at is they would shoot you either here and take out your gunner, or here and take out your commander, and they'd miss the ammo at the back, meaning that you would be in a situation where you could survive and you could just piddle off. So you want to try and set that up with the 685, but you can't really do that, because guess what? The ammunition is right behind the 2 people who are in the turret, the gunner and the commander. So if they get hit, whole thing goes pop. The general design of this machine compared to the 906 is more chunky. It has a lot less going for it, apart from the fact that it has a similar speed and also the more powerful gun, but I don't think that gun matches the BR at all. So instead of using this as an aggressive machine, it's definitely going to be stuck in the doldrums as this pseudo scout vehicle that can deal with a lot of lightly armored stuff, but then get creamed by either planes or helicopters or anything that has an autocannon, because it only has 60mm of hull armor, which is not really enough to stop anything. So the general rounds that it gets are pretty powerful, apart from certain enemies that it's going to fight, e.g. 2A5. It's going to struggle with penning certain areas of that. Also the Ariete, especially the new one running around with the add-on armor, good luck with that. And then, of course, you have stuff like the night vision, which will help it. Laser rangefinder, always lovely to see on a machine. So I'm glad that it gets one of them. It does get a lot of bells and whistles, it does get the night stuff. It does get the fact that, you know, it does get the airstrike and it does get the improved optics and all of this. So at least it gets a lot of stuff to it. It also gets the ESS. I'm going to see how good its night vision is for you. Like, does it only get night vision, or does it also get thermal? Because obviously that's a big addition to a lot of vehicles and in this update. So does it get thermal or night vision? Does it get both? Where does it get it? All of this wonderful stuff. So once we're in night, you can see it in night here. So this is its night vision. It also gets a light as well, the NV light, which you can see. So we can mark targets, such as this one. My god, even the optics are bad, at least compared to, you know, oops. Right, so it has the light, and it has the night vision, but it doesn't have thermal. So that's, you know, that's still fine. You'll be able to see it coming though if you're using the light, and it's nice that it does, you know, it is able to light up a bunch of stuff as it goes, so at least you'll be able to mark targets. The problem is, since you have no army yourself, since you are going to want to be a little bit stealthy, stuff like this is probably not the best thing to do, because you'll be able to be seen quite easily by other tanks, especially if they have their night vision on. So I don't think it's going to work so well. The gun itself is an incredibly powerful gun on this, right? It's just one of those machines which, as you can see, the APF SDS, as long as you shoot for ammo and stuff, it's going to set everything off as it goes. Very powerful gun, but it's just something you got to worry about is the reload, because it's not as good as stuff like the 906. Still better than a lot of stuff you'll face, apart from top tier MBTs that are fully spaded, so you got to watch out for that. Camouflage wise, the 685 has many different camouflages. The majority of them are really nice to see, very similar to other top tier Soviet vehicles. I personally like the deforming ones the best, so the grey, light brown and dark brown that you see before you. The deforming forest camouflage is one of my favourite when it comes to the game. And then of course you have the deforming winter one with a little bit of brown, and the Finnish summer camouflage, which is probably the best camouflage if you want it for usefulness, because it creates a darker feel about it, meaning that you can hide it better. I'm going to go for the deforming forest camouflage because I'm a wonderful person, and let's go to the daytime so we don't have to mess about with the night vision. I was just showing the night vision to you. So even though this machine does have a decent amount going for it, it also has some really nice mechanisms. So have a look at the turret. Pop! So it pops the shell out the back, right? So that's always lovely to see. Pop! And I'm happy that we're getting that kind of stock from a lot of these Soviet machines. It's also got a really good gun. This 100mm being something which is based off of the T-55's gun, which is obviously based off the T-54s, and then the T-44-100s, you know, back in, you know, even back to the SU-100. The 100mm that the Soviets are able to bring are incredibly good guns. They are powerful, they do a lot of damage, and what happens with them is you have a great time with them, especially if they're fully stabilized. That is what you see here, and especially if you aim for the right areas. And you can definitely do that in the 685. If we compare this to something like a Sturm, it is infinitely better because of the gun, because of the speed, and because of the fact that you have this wonderful reload. And also you have scouting, which is always overlooked by a lot of people, but it is a key mechanic in the game. If used correctly, it can do a lot of good damage. And also, a few people have asked, can you see night vision during the day? Yes, you can, but it's a little bit bright. You can even turn the light on during the day, so you can do that if you really want to destroy your eyes. But the main thing I was getting to is the gun is great, the speed is satisfactory. It's not the best, because the thing is, so the 906 at its level, at 8.0, or around 8.0 that it faces, there are a few fast machines. The Leopards are running around at that BR. They don't have a stabilizer though. So if you get up tiered into the A1A1 or the L44, yeah, they have stabilizers, but you know, you're going to face your tier more than you are up tiers in general. Then you have stuff such as the OF40, that's very fast, no stabilizer. Centauro, incredibly fast with a stabilizer, so we've got to watch out for that thing. And then you've got all of the American vehicles, which don't have stabilizer either, so you can, you know, always get the first shot off with those. Now imagine all of those 7.7s and stuff facing a 906, and now go to the 685, which has a slightly better gun. It is arguably the same, you know, acceleration and speed-wise as the 906, and also has all of the bells and whistles that the 906 also has, such as the HVSS, and then obviously this has smoke grenades, which are nice as well. So you have all of these things, right? Now, replace what the 906 normally fights and put in top tier MBTs. So Ariete Ps, M1 Abrams, Leopard 2A4s, Leopard 2Ks, Leopard 2A5s, you know, all of these crazy machines, and what you find is the 906 is not able to do what it used to be able to do, which is get that really good first hit percentage, use that heat FS to dome a lot of people before they're able to fire back, and also get 2 shots off to everybody's 1, or even 3 shots off to everybody's 1. You can't do that at this tier with a 906, and that's pretty much what you have with the 685 at 9.7. And yes, it can float, so at least that's a little bonus. For me personally, what I see from this machine is one which right now is woefully over-tiered. I would probably stick it at 8.7, maybe 9.0. I don't think the gun is actually that powerful, especially when we have stuff like the T55AM sat around that 8.7 mark. It is nice to see the tracks moving in the water though, I will say that is lovely. The design itself, you know, the actual model is lovely, but at 9.7, I think this thing will just get eaten, just like the Sturm did when it first came out. And also, we haven't even talked about an elephant in the room. The turret rotation is knack, and the gun elevation is even worse. Look how fast this thing elevates its gun. This is not a 9.7 tank. Don't put this at 9.7. I understand if you want to make it a pure scout, but if you want it to have any semblance of use, at least drop it to 9.3 or 9.0. And maybe even consider a little bit lower. We'll have to see. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time.
I'd just like to thank Ambrosius McClellan, B. Young, Blackie, Daniel Stanton, John Ryman, Joseph Anders, Martinez, Mopar 1969, Moxie, Super Cacti, Uyans Terry, and Eel of Goats, and of course Seductive Trash Can for supporting the channel.